What's up, guys? EDA Talk Sports here with another preview of a UFC Fight Night card. This time, a massive one: Cory Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. And guys, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it big time. Now we're going to get into all the details. We're going to get into the clash itself, and I think there's no better place to start off. Obviously, this one's being held in Abu Dhabi. Much more favourable fight times than it was in Manchester for the UK fans. For the US fans, it's going to be a lot earlier than they're used to. But nonetheless, we've got a massive main event, and I'm looking forward to it. Cory Sandhagen, who I've been a massive fan of for a while, he's one of the best in the division, no doubt about it. Technically efficient, good on the feet, good on the ground. More in the sense of his kind of submission, less in terms of the wrestling, and that showed out in one of his previous attempts in terms of fighting for number one contendership and for a title chance against Aljo. And that was again really disappointing for Cory. He built himself up again. Unfortunately, he lost to TJ in a controversial decision. He still feels he won. I think many do, but again, he had to build himself up again. And this is another version of Cory, but still in the essence who he is. He's going up against Umar Nurmagomedov, a person who many in the division were ducking. Let's not doubt it. He's still undefeated, 17-0, an absolute phenom. Obviously, relations with Khabib. He has a close connection with Islam. That whole camp, that Dagestani style, wrestle heavy. We know what he's about from his traditions. But what Umar adds is his proficient striking, and he's shown it time and time again. The issue with him is finding those fights in his division because again, so many people haven't been able to kind of all want to fight him, and also he's had some injury concerns and he's pulled out some fights as well. Just to be fair, but now this is a fight where he's ranked number 10. He's going up against number 2 in the division, Cory Sandhagen, and it's an amazing clash because they're very good fighters in multiple areas. They're not just strikers or wrestlers or specializing in jiu-jitsu. They are proficient in a number of areas, and this is where it's going to be such an important clash. Looking at some of the stats that we have here, significant strikes. Cory's got a slightly higher output, but if you look at the general numbers, that's crazy output for both men. 5 and 4, um, res- respectively, is crazy. Again, when you're talking about the significance, both over 50%. Umar's being 74% is crazy. The accuracy, again, he's not only a wrestler, he has the ability to strike and strike very well. Takedown accuracy, again, we talked about the wrestling proficiency. You can see he's going to try and take him down, and the accuracy again over 50%, which is really impressive. Both men can achieve a submission, and they've shown it in the past. Where do I go with this fight? Again, massive props to Cory for taking this fight. Umar, this is a chance for you to show why you are in the position you are. I've seen it. I said it when I first saw him. That again, same thing with Tom Aspinall. He's a champion in waiting. Um, we will talk about that element very quickly in terms of whoever wins will be fighting Sean O'Malley or Marab after this. Again, I think Umar will be probably the favourite against both of those men. However, I don't think you can kind of count out either Marab or Sean. Very specialists in their areas. Sean, we know, is a striker proficient in jiu-jitsu. Marab, we know, wrestle heavy style, pressure style, and it's going to be interesting to see how those styles match up to, I would say, slightly more technical fighters in an all-round sense. Obviously, Sean, we know, is elite on the feet. In this one, it's going to be very difficult, but I struggle. I really do struggle. I like both guys a lot. My head says Umar, but I'm going to go with my heart and I'm going to say Cory's going to pull it out. He seemed mentally on a mission, and I would love for him to hold that title once. So I'm going to go with Cory, go with my heart. But Umar, my head has always said he's going to be a champion, so it's going to be really interesting. But one thing to also note is that height difference as well. How is he going to maximize that height difference? How is he going to maximize that reach difference as well? And if Umar can't get in with his striking, is he going to take it to the ground? And how successful will he be? Next fight we're going to be covering is Shara Monagomedov versus Michelle Olejashek. And again, two fighters who I think are going to have a really good fight. Fingers crossed I've not jinxed them. But in Michelle, you've got someone who is pressure heavy, comes forward, comes to bang. And that leaves him open to getting hit in the face a lot. And he doesn't seem to mind. even when he lost to Kevin Holland recently, um, nearly had his arm snapped off, and he was, saying, "Why did you call off the fight?" Crazy. He's a madman. But again, that's what the reason I kind of love him and love his fights. He's going up against Shara, who again is a new inclusion to the UFC. I think this is his third fight, and he comes with a reputation of being quite violent, quite brutal. He's shown it on occasions. Other occasions, haven't really seen him live up to the hype. This is going to be an interesting fight because, um, yeah, Michelle comes forward each and every time, and it's going to be really, really interesting to see how Shara deals with that. Um, Again, I think the problem with Olajayshek is that he leaves himself open too often to get hit, even though he might get one or two in return. And so I'm going to go with Shara for the win. But yeah, it hurts me to go up against my guy. Marlon Vera versus Figueroa. Again, Figueroa, who's come up, previous champion at flyweight, now coming up to bantamweight, and he obviously comes into the division being one of the more smaller men. Marlon Vera coming off the loss to Sean O'Malley, brutal. Let's be honest with you, brutal. A lot of the aura around Cheeto, who I like very much, was disparaged. Then a lot of the favoritism we got for the first fight and the win he had against Sean was destroyed because he got dominated. And this is going to be a fight which could either make Figueroa or it could destroy Marlon Vera. I think if Figueroa loses to Marlon Vera, it's damaging, yes, but he's here for, I think, like a good time, not a long time. I don't see him becoming champion at the division. He wants to make his money. He wants to have higher profile fights than he would have had at flyweight, and he wants to not have that brutal weight cut. Um, Marlon Vera, on the other hand, he has all the accolades in the division. Most finishes, one of the most for submissions, if not the most. Yeah, we're gonna need Marlon to pull out something here if he wants to have a chance at getting that title again. He's in a precarious position again. It's difficult. Figueroa, I think eventually he will reach a level of opposition where the size difference, is too much. Technically, he can sit and hang with a lot of these guys, very proficient. But I think there's a level that he'll get to where it's just a little bit too much, and I fear for him it might be this fight. I'm gonna go with Marlon Vera to pick it up. I think both of these guys leave opening for their oppositions to get an advantage, and I see no difference in this fight either. Two more fights that we're gonna cover: Tony Ferguson versus Chiesa. Guys, loser retires. That's it for me. Loser retires. Um, love Tony Ferguson. Been a massive fan. Disappointed in some of the recent losses. He needs better output. He needs to show why he was once that person, and he's not that person anymore. It's clear to see. But we need more, Tony. Don't go out in a whimper, and please don't go out to Chiesa again. Like Chiesa, um, he's just a bit boring, if I'm being honest with you. Um, like he's Bilal without the pressure fighting to a degree. More proficient on the ground in terms of his submissions, yes, but no one goes to the fight and thinks I want to see a Chiesa fight. He's going to take you down. He's trying to potentially try and submit you or just hold you there. And I hope that's not a fight that we see with Tony getting taken down, held there, and that's the rest of the fight. It probably will be that. But there we go. I think if I'm being hopeful, I want Tony to win. My heart says Tony again. I want Tony to win. My head says he's going to get taken down eventually, held there, not be able to get up, and that will be that. But I want to take a punt on it. I want to say Tony Ferguson for the win. And then finally, we've got Mackenzie Dern and Lupi Godinez. Two, I would say, pretty exciting fighters. If I'm honest with you, when I see their fights, they're more enjoyable. I'll say definitely for Lupi. She's very, very aggressive, very, very pressure heavy, which I like, as you can see from her significant strikes. Mackenzie's not far from that. Again, defense with Mackenzie is one where it's never good. And she struggles to stop herself getting hit more than she's actually like giving. Lupi I like a lot. She's small, but she packs a punch. She's got dynamite. She's proficient on the ground. So is Mackenzie. That's where her bread is buttered. She's got better on the feet as time has gone on, and it's going to be very interesting because you can't really kind of rule either of them out. They've got very similar records. I'm going to be very interested to see how this fight plays out. But for me, I just see, and I'm not saying Mackenzie doesn't have it because she's shown it on occasion, but Loopy's got that dog. She's got that dog in her. Or if I'm being honest with you guys, she's got that dog, and so I'm gonna rock. I'm gonna rock with her for the victory. And so we've gone through 4 of the biggest fights. I think it is 4 of the biggest fights. It might have been 5, and we'll just recap very quickly my predictions: Cory Sandhagen for the win, Shara for the win, Marlon Vera for the win, and I said Tony Ferguson and Luke Godinez for the win. We'll review how this goes, guys. Again, mentioned the fight time, really good for UK fight fans. Sorry to the US fans, but again, we should be in for some good fighting. One of the cards that I'm looking forward to, as some of the previous UFC fight night cards have been a little bit disappointing, but this one should be a treat, especially the main event. But hopefully you guys have liked it. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, drop a comment, whatever you think, your predictions. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think. Peace.